How's it going, YouTube? Today I got a new QSP knife. It's the Grebe. Not really sure how to pronounce that, so I'm just going to say Grebe. It's a QS147-B1. Check out the box real quick. Got a couple stickers. And you got this little card with all the specs. I love if they do that. It's pretty cool. And here's the knife. Now this knife came in like 10 different variations. Of course I got blue micarta. They had it with black blade too. They had their version of fat carbon. They had in 20 CV. They also had this in Tonto. So a lot of different ways, a lot of different flavors for everyone. This one was $70.95, basically $71. A little bit expensive for 14C, but not too bad. Let's see, you got a 3-inch clip point blade, a 14C 28N, and they got a really good looking stone wash. And flat grind, of course. Fairly thin behind the edge, not super slicey, but thin enough. You got a 3mm blade stock, or 0.11 inches. You get an overall length of 7.25 inches. Let's compare it to a few knives. Didn't really have a lot of great comparisons for this, but grabbed a few. QB Royal and the CJRB Pyrite Warncliffe. The Pyrite's just a hair longer, and the Royal's just a hair shorter. K-Bar Dozier. Kershaw Dividend. The Dividend's a little bit smaller, and looks like maybe the Dozier is probably my closest example. So yeah. So bigger than an Elementum, bigger than a Penguin, but not much bigger. Got a 4.25 inch handle, 0.54 inches wide, and the closed width in the pocket from the flipper to here is 1.29 inches. You have T6 screws, which QSP is stuck on, except for the pivot and the thumb stud. It's T8. And oddly enough, this came on multi-row bearings. I was super surprised when I took it apart because it's not crazy smooth or nothing, but it definitely has multi-row bearings. I'll try to include a picture of that. Knife weighs 3.75 ounces, so pretty average. Do have a little bit of weight relief on the inside. And micarta isn't bad. I'd say it's pretty average. A little bit of texture. Pretty much like the Simcut and a lot of the Civivi stuff. It's not on Kaiser level, but it's not bad. Of course it's flat, no contouring, unfortunately. And this is a button lock knife, which is pretty much why I bought it. It's not the most attractive knife I've got, but it doesn't look bad. Just kind of blocky on the handle. I just want to check out the button lock. Sticks up quite a bit when open. Sets down a little bit when it's closed, but still a little bit elevated. Compare it to the Pyrite. Pyrite's flush when closed. It doesn't stick up very much at all when open. But it does look like there's quite a bit of lockup in there. I'm not going to spine whack it because I paid for it and I'm not going to break my knife, but it does look like it would probably hold up well. You have a few different deployment options. Of course, the button. You got a flipper tab with a couple jumps on it, not a lot. You can fill it, but you gotta try. And of course, thumb studs. Can reverse flick it just fine, but it feels best probably with the flipper on this one. The thumb studs aren't bad. You do have a lanyard hole. No backspacer, unfortunately. There's some cool things I noticed about this when it's apart. I mean, obviously it's got a D-shaped pivot because the logo's right here, but the barrel spacers are D-shaped. I don't think I've ever seen that. So if you're taking out a screw from one side, the barrel's not going to spin. Nice little added touch. And it is deep carry clip. The clip is inset. The screws are button screws, but don't look too bad. And it is reversible, and they put a cover plate. Thumbs up for that. Love to see that. So yeah, that's about all I got. Let's go over the dislikes. I've never had a QSP knife that's had a good sharpening tool. They just don't care about that at QSP. I don't know why. They don't get it in their head, but us knife addicts like sharpening tools because we like to sharpen our knives. I don't know. Love to see inset liners, but that's just a personal preference, and contoured scales. Don't like T6s, of course. And here's one that's kind of nitpicky, but I was thinking this needed smaller thumb studs because it's kind of close to the scale. You can get it pretty well, but if you're playing with a knife for a few minutes, it starts to be uncomfortable. I took my Kaiser drop bear studs and switched it over to here for a minute, and it was much more comfortable because they're just a little bit smaller. Yeah, that's no real big deal. They have a little bit of jimping up here. Knife's fairly comfortable. I don't really feel the clip too much. Don't buy a whole lot of clip points, but I think the button made me buy this one. But it's not a bad looking clip point, and the tip's not too awfully high. Did come fairly sharp. That's always a positive. I'll have this knife linked down below, along with all the other Grebes. Instagram's linked down below. Check that out, and of course subscribe. I upload 4 videos every week, so yeah, give me a like and a comment, and see you in the next one.